Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Kunja Bihari Prabhupada ki jai. So today we're celebrating the appearance day of Lord Nrsimha-Dev, and we'll be looking at reading two verses from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 18, the residents of Jambudvip offer prayers, text 8 and 9. So these are prayers offered by Prahlada Maharaja. So if everybody could please repeat after me. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. All right, so we'll start with text 8. Om Namo Bhagavate Nrsimhaya Namaste Jase Avir Bhava Vraja Naka Vraja Dangsha Karmashayan Randhya Tamagrasa Om Swaha Abhayam Atmani Bhuyishta Om Shaum. Translation. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Nrsimha-Dev, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possesses knells and teeth just like thunderbolts, kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruitive activity in this material world. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance so that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. right, so we'll go to text 9. Swastyastu vishvasya kala prasiditam dhyayantu bhutani shivam mitodya manascha badram bhajatad adhokshaje aveshatam no matir apyahoitiki. So Prahlada Maharaj continues praying to Lord Nrsimhadev. May there be good fortune throughout the universe, and may all envious persons be pacified. May all living entities become calm by practicing bhakti-yoga, for by accepting devotional service, they will think of each other's welfare. Therefore, let us all engage in the service of the supreme transcendence, Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa, and always remain absorbed in thought of him. Purport. The following verse describes a Vaishnava. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Just like a desire tree, a Vaishnava can fulfill all the desires of anyone who takes shelter of his lotus feet. Prahlada Maharaj is a typical Vaishnava. He prays not for himself, but for all living entities, the gentle, the envious, and the mischievous. He always thought of the welfare of mischievous persons, like his father, Hiranyakashipu. Prahlada Maharaj did not ask for anything for himself. Rather, he prayed for the Lord to excuse his demoniac father. This is the attitude of a Vaishnava, who always thinks of the welfare of the entire universe. Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavat Dharma are meant for persons who are completely free of envy. Parama nirmatsaranam. Therefore, Prahlada Maharaj prays in this verse, Kalau prasiditam. May all the envious persons be pacified. The material world is full of envious persons, but if one frees himself of envy, he becomes liberal in his social dealings and can think of others' welfare. Anyone who takes up Krishna consciousness and engages himself completely in the service of the Lord cleanses his mind of all envy. Manascha badram bhajatam adhokshaje. Therefore, we should pray to Lord Nrsimhadev to sit in our hearts. We should pray by Hir Nrsimho Hridaye Nrsimha. Let Lord Nrsimhadev sit in the core of my heart, killing all my bad propensities. Let my mind become clean, so that I may peacefully worship the Lord and bring peace to the entire world. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has given us a very fine purport in this regard. Whenever one offers a prayer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one always requests some benediction from him. Even pure devotees pray for some benediction, as instructed by Lord Chaitanya in his Shikshashtakam. Ayinanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavam badao kripaya tavapada pankajasti tadulisha sadrisham vichintaya. O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from the ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. In another prayer, Lord Chaitanya says, Mama janmani janmani ishvare bhavatad bhakti rahoitaki tvai. Life after life, kindly let me have unalloyed love and devotion at your Lordship's lotus feet. When Prahlada Maharaj chants Om Namo Bhagavate Nrsimhaya, he prays for a benediction from the Lord. But because he is also an exalted Vaishnava, he wants nothing for his personal sense gratification. The first desire expressed in his prayer is Swastyastu Vishvasya. Let there be good fortune throughout the entire universe. Prahlada Maharaj thus requested the Lord to be merciful to everyone, including his father, a most envious person. According to Chanakya Pandit, there are two kinds of envious living entities. Does anybody know the two envious living entities? Snake, yeah. Snake. Which one's more dangerous, an envious person or a snake? An envious person, actually. because a snake could be pacified, right? Snake charmers. One is a snake, and the other is the man like Hiranyakashipu, who is by nature envious of everyone, even of his father or son. Hiranyakashipu was envious of his little son Prahlad, but Prahlada Maharaja asked a benediction for the benefit of his father. Hiranyakashipu was very envious of devotees, but Prahlad wished that his father and other demons like him would give up their envious nature by the grace of the Lord and stop harassing the devotees. The difficulty is that the Kala, envious living entity, is rarely pacified. One kind of Kala, the snake, can be pacified simply by mantras or by the action of a particular herb. An envious person, however, cannot be pacified by any means. Therefore, Prahlada Maharaj prays that all envious persons may undergo a change of heart and think of the welfare of others. One more paragraph. If the Krishna consciousness movement spreads all over the world, and if by the grace of Krishna everyone accepts it, the thinking of envious people will change. Everyone will think of the welfare of others. Therefore, Prahlada Maharaj prays, Shivam Mitodhya. In material activities, everyone is envious of others, but in Krishna consciousness, no one is envious of anyone else. Everyone thinks of the welfare of others. Therefore, Prahlada Maharaj prays that everyone's mind may become gentle by being fixed at the lotus feet of Krishna. As indicated elsewhere in Srimad Bhagavatam, Savaimana Krishna Padara Vindyo, and as advised by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, Manmana Bhava Madbhakta, one should constantly think of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Then one's mind will certainly be cleansed. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Materialists always think of sense gratification, but Prahlada Maharaj prays that the Lord's mercy will change their minds and they will stop thinking of sense gratification. If they think of Krishna always, everything will be all right. Remember that one, right? If you think of Krishna always, everything will be all right. Some people argue that if everyone thought of Krishna in that way, the whole universe would be vacated because everyone would go back home, back to Godhead. However, Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says that this is impossible because the living entities are innumerable. If one set of living entities is actually delivered by the Krishna consciousness movement, another set will fill the entire universe. Om Ganativarandasya Kananjana Shlaka Chakshulan Militamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karitavachalam Pangam Langai Tegirim Yak Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurun Dinitarinam Vancha Kalpadri Bishta Kripasandi Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Śrī Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this particular, in this second verse we read, Srila Prabhupada quoted a very famous verse, Vancha Kalpatarubhishcha Kripa Sindhubevacha, which is describing the nature of a devotee, the nature of a Vaishnava, and that a devotee can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like a desire tree. And then you say, what is a desire tree? In the spiritual world, they're said to be, or it is described there are desire trees. So usually, like in this world, you go to a particular tree, a mango tree, or you go to a mango tree and you could get mangoes. But if you go to a mango tree and you try to get pineapple, then it's not going to work. But in the spiritual world, there are desired trees, and one could get any fruit they want. So, in a similar way, devotees are like desired trees in that they fulfill the desires of everyone. And they are also said to be like an ocean of mercy. And one thing about ocean, we cannot measure the amount water in a particular ocean. So similarly, the mercy that a devotee carries, or the mercy that a devotee displays, is like that. And we have a perfect example here of a merciful devotee, merciful Vaishnava, and that is Prahlada Maharaja, the son of Hiranyakashipu. So Hiranyakashipu, you could take a seat here. There's some seats there, some space before the yajna, or wherever you want to sit. Hiranyakashipu had a desire, and his desire is that he wanted to control the universe and everyone in it. He wanted to be the master of the universe. In a small way, some people may try to do that in this world, and they may be successful to different degrees. But Hiranyakashipu was extremely successful. He just took over the whole world, as the Srimad Bhagavatam explains. But in order to do that, before he did that, it said he performed severe austerities. He underwent severe difficulties. He was standing on his toes, and he was, it says that his body became so his body was practically eaten alive by ants. Now, of course, this is like a mystical power. He was still keeping his life airs going. So he's a very powerful person. Now, eventually, Lord Brahma, he appeared. One of the demigods appeared to Hiranyakashipu, and Lord Brahma asked him, "What do you want?" And Hiranyakashipu said that he wanted to become immortal. And not only did he want to become immortal, but he wanted to be the master of the universe. Practically, he wanted to be God. Now, Lord Brahma said, well, that's difficult, because I also am not immortal. So how can I give you such a benediction? So then Hiranyakashipu, with his fine intelligence, came up with a particular plan, or presented an idea to Lord Brahma that practically in this particular plan, he thought that he'd become immortal, Hiranyakashipu. And what was that plan? What did he ask Lord Brahma? Does anybody, I'm sure many people remember. Yeah, there's a whole list. So who wants to give part of the list?
Day or night.
Okay, he doesn't want to be killed in the daytime or the nighttime by a man or animal. Okay, what else? By weapon or hands, inside or outside, daytime. So he thought he covered all of the he thought he covered it. So then Lord Brahma said, okay, fine, you have those benedictions. So Hiranyakashipu was thinking, wonderful, I'm immortal. And the history was that Hiranyakashipu actually hated Vishnu, because Vishnu killed his brother, or Krishna, Vishnu killed his brother. The personality of God had killed his brother Hiranyaksha. So he actually hated him, and he actually wanted to kill Vishnu. Now someone may ask, how is it that somebody could be so foolish that they think that they could kill God? We see that Vishnu or Krishna, they have a similar appearance, especially Krishna, similar appearance, a human-like appearance. Or as the Bible says, man was made in the image of God. So in this way, someone could mistake Krishna to be an ordinary man, like many people do, actually. So Hiranyakashipu was making that mistake, and he was thinking, yes, I could kill Vishnu. So eventually Hiranyakashipu, he had a child, Prahlada Maharaja, and he was trying to train Prahlada Maharaja in all different types of important things, subjects. He had his teachers training him in politics and how to divide and conquer and so on. So one day when Prahlada Maharaj came home from school, it's quite common. There's some fathers here. Maybe some of the fathers have this experience, or if your uncle or whatever. It's a common thing that adults ask children, what is your favorite subject? Or what is the best thing you've learned in school today? So Hiranyakashipu, as a loving father, at the time he was loving, he asked the question, what's your favorite subject? He asked Prahlada Maharaj. So then Prahlada Maharaj, he chanted a verse, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanavedanam. The best thing I've learned today is that the most intelligent person, they engage in the 9 processes of devotional service, hearing about Krishna, Shravanam, Kirtanam, chanting about Krishna, hearing about Krishna, remembering Krishna, and so on. This is the best thing I've learned today. So you can imagine Hiranyakashipu, how frustrated he was, how angry he was, because he wanted to train his son how to be a perfect demon. And now his son is talking about Vishnu, his enemy. So he's very angry. And eventually, as the history continues in the 7th canto, at one particular point, Hiranyakashipu, he compares Prahlada Maharaj to like a part of your body that becomes diseased. So he said, similar, just as if a part of your body becomes diseased, you just amputate it to save the body. So he said, similarly, this boy is like a disease in our family. So we just have to remove him. So he tried to kill him through his associates, Hiranyakashipu's associates, in so many different ways. And all of it was unsuccessful. And then at one particular point, Hiranyakashipu, he was becoming more and more frustrated. And he was wondering, how is it that this boy is so powerful? Because Hiranyakashipu and his people, they tried to, throw him under an elephant and boil him in water or oil and throw him off a cliff. So many different ways they tried to kill him, and he wasn't dying. So he was wondering how he's so powerful. So one particular point, Hiranyakashipu, he asked Prahlada Maharaj, he said, where do you get your power? And at that particular point, Prahlada Maharaj, he said, well, I get my power from the same place you do, and that is Krishna, that is God. And then Hiranyakashipu, he said, where is your God? Where is your Krishna? Is he? And then Prahlada Maharaj said, well, he's everywhere. That's Krishna is all pervading. Says Krishna is actually in every atom. So then Prahlada Maharaj, or then Hiranyakashipu, he said to Prahlada Maharaj, oh, is he in this pillar? And then Prahlada Maharaj said, yes. So at that particular point, with his fist, Hiranyakashipu hit the pillar, and then out came a wonderful form of Lord Nrsimha-Dev. And this particular form of Lord Nrsimhadev is a unique form, unique in that there's no other form like him, in that he is a half man, half lion, the half man, Nrsimha, the half man, half lion incarnation of Krishna. And eventually, Hiranyakashipu had a fight with Lord Nrsimhadev, and eventually Hiranyakashipu, on the threshold of the house, not during the day or the night, not inside or outside, nor by man or animal, or nor by any living or dead thing. It was the nails, right? Not exactly living. He put Hiranyakashipu on his lap, and he just ripped open his chest, killed him. So Srila Prabhupada explains that that the living entities in material existence, they may think that they're more intelligent than Krishna, like Hiranyakashipu, but ultimately Krishna is the most intelligent, and you can't cheat Krishna. So Hiranyakashipu, through his intelligence, which he did have intelligence. I mean, he took over the whole universe, so you have to have some intelligence to do that. But ultimately, he was defeated by Krishna in the form of Lord Nrsimhadev. In other words, he couldn't cheat Krishna. So after all of this, Prahlada Maharaja, or specifically Nrsimhadev, he was asking Prahlada Maharaja, he was asking him, what do you want? I could give you any benediction you want. What do you want? So if Krishna was to ask us, I could give you any benediction, what would you want? What would we say? Hopefully we say spiritual, right? Something of spiritual substance. But we learn from Prahlada Maharaj what we should at least aspire to say if we're not on that platform yet, which it's a difficult platform to be on, but he instructs us on what we should aspire for, what we should pray for. And specifically, he says here that in the verse we read today, text 9, that may there be good fortune. He's praying for good fortune throughout the whole universe. May there be good fortune throughout the whole universe. And may all envious persons be pacified. So there's a lot of envious people throughout the world. And especially he was also referring to his father. May they become pacified by practicing bhakti-yoga. For by accepting the principles of devotional service, what will happen? They will think of each other's welfare. So in other words, by practicing bhakti-yoga, their hearts will become purified, and then they'll think of the welfare of others instead of just thinking about themselves. So Prahlada Maharaj, he teaches what is the standard for a Vaishnava, and that even his father tried to kill him in so many different ways. But still, he prayed for his father, the deliverance of his father. Just see Prahlada Maharaj's the power of forgiveness. I mean, it's practically inconceivable. But at least in our own way, we could try to practice that. So such an exemplary character. And then he says, therefore, let us all engage in the service of Krishna and always remain absorbed in thought of him. So he prayed for his father, the deliverance of his father. He also prayed, like in the previous verse, he said that vanquish demon-like desires in my heart, desires to enjoy separately from you. Material desires. So he prayed for that. He prayed for his father. And he also prayed, please let me always be engaged in the service of my spiritual master, Narada Muni. So similarly, we should pray in such a way that, Lord Nrsimhadev, on this particular day, please remove the particular tendencies that are within my heart that are obstacles to me having a loving relationship with you, with Krishna, and please purify those. And because without becoming free of those, one's actually in bondage. Without becoming free from envy and all these other things, it's actually a state of bondage. So then the question is, one thing is to pray, but then the question is there anything else we could do? Well, that's the main thing, pray. But as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Chaito Darpana Marjanam, that by hearing and chanting about Krishna, specifically the Hare Krishna mantra, one's heart becomes purified. And there's many different benefits he lists in the Shikshashtakam. So if we engage in the process of bhakti-yoga, if we pray, but simultaneously not just pray, but we endeavor to serve Krishna. There's so many different ways to serve Krishna. You could cook for Krishna, you could garden for Krishna, you could paint for Krishna, you could take over the world for Krishna. So many things you could do for Krishna. Raise your children in Krishna consciousness, those of you who have children, very important. You have a certain time period you're going to be with them, and eventually they're going to fly out of the nest. So during that time, try to be a good example and help them in their Krishna consciousness. So many things ways we could serve Krishna. And in this way, we will be delivered from the ocean of material existence. This is a very rough ocean, actually, in so many different ways. Now, in relation to thinking about the welfare of others, what to speak of the whole universe, that may seem like a very difficult task. Sometimes we have a family of four. And we may have a hard time thinking about, or two or three or whatever, we may have a hard time thinking about them, their welfare all at once. So what to do about that? So Srila Prabhupada, he answered that one time, and he said that, yeah, you don't have to think about the welfare of everyone in the universe. Just think about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Lord Chaitanya, he could think about the welfare of everyone. But in our own way, still, there is a mission to try to give people Krishna consciousness. Family, friends, others, Krishna consciousness. So in our own way, we could be a small instrument in that. So does anybody have any question or comment? When do we break fast? I'm not sure. I guess it's dusk. What did anybody look up when is dusk? 7.
It's when the sun is set, the stars have not come out yet.
Yes, the sun is set, but the stars have not come out yet. Yes,
I have a question.
Yes.
How did Prahlada get trained up in bhakti? He was growing up in that demonic household, and Hiranyakashipu, he controlled the whole universe. So what's going on there?
Yes, how did Prahlada Maharaja get trained up? Because he was going to a materialistic school, demoniac school. And so Prabhupada talks about that. Hiranyaka, in the purports in the 7th canto, he mentions how Hiranyakashipu may have been thinking that, oh, maybe Vaishnavas, they came in disguise and they instructed my son. So Hiranyakashipu was telling his people, don't let those Vaishnavas come in disguise. And Srila Prabhupada commented on that. He said that devotees, sometimes they don't wear their saffron clothes or their whatever robes, but they wear civilian clothing, and in this way they go in disguise. They go to the colleges and different places and distribute Krishna consciousness. Now, that doesn't answer the question, but there's just a side point. But the answer is that while Prahlada Maharaja was in the womb, his mother had him there, and at the particular time, Hiranyakashipu was performing austerities. So the demigods, they were thinking that Hiranyakashipu is such a nuisance, to say the least. He's like a stake in our heart, means like a sword in our heart. So what to speak of his son? His son's gonna, so they're actually thinking of killing Prahlad, actually. Now, Narada Muni, he stopped them and he said, actually, this boy's a great Vaishnava. This boy's a great devotee, so you can't do that. And while Prahlada Maharaja was in the womb, he actually, Narada Muni instructed him. Now, how does that work? It's a mystic. He was instructed and he remembered everything. So that's the idea. Yes, Guru Krishna.
So Hiranyakashipu is trying to cheat the system, isn't he?
Yes.
He's trying to, he thinks he's clever. He's got this workaround going on.
Yes.
But Krishna, I believe it's in Bhagavad Gita, isn't it? Of the cheaters, I am.
Gamblers on the cheat.
Of gamblers, I am the cheat. So,
Yes.
We're not the supreme anything, and neither was Hiranyakashipu. So Krishna's always got the trump card. He's going to one-up everybody no matter what. So
That's true.
even though he's somewhat in control of the universe, there's the highest authority, which he is not. And
Yes.
so Krishna figures it out. He's going to instruct him in the womb.
Yeah. So we can't cheat Krishna. It's a very good lesson for us to try to meditate on. Like one time, Bhakti Sundar Goswami, when he was a young devotee in Venezuela, Srila Prabhupada visited South America once, and he spent about a week there in South America, and he went to Venezuela. So, and he initiated a number of devotees there, and yeah, there's a number of different pastimes of Srila Prabhupada that went on there. There's a book called Srila Prabhupada in Venezuela. It's translated into English. It should be coming out soon. Bhakti Sundar Goswami wrote it. Those of you who know him, he visits here regularly. But when he was getting initiated by Srila Prabhupada, he got the name Jagat Chakshur, which means like the eye of the universe. Like Krishna sees everything. So while he was getting initiated, Srila Prabhupada gave him his beads and gave him his name. And he said, you cannot hide from the eyes of Krishna. Krishna sees everything. And then he was thinking, because he was remembering how as a young devotee, he would go and he would steal some of the sweets. And he'd be hiding in a place, steal some burfis or whatever, and he'd be hiding, and he'd be eating, and he'd think, nobody sees me, So he says, Prabhu, you cannot hide from. So yeah, we cannot cheat. Does anybody have any last question or comment? Parashakti.
No, I just wanted to say that it was
Where did you get the mic?
Oh, sorry. I thought it was very interesting in that chapter that when Narada Muni came before them, they were very big, they weren't just warriors, they were devotees, the demigods, and they were very respectful of him. But they really weren't going to just, like nowadays, just men, women, and children in war get killed. They said that they were going to wait until she gave birth and then kill him. So,
Thank you. Yes, she.
Interesting to note
I think there's a mic coming because so everybody hears. I don't like talking on the mic either.
Yeah, but I think it's very interesting enough to note that ultimately Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu were Jaya and Vijaya, who were cursed by Bhrigumuni when they did not allow Bhrigumuni to visit Lakshmi and Vishnu at the holy abode. So that's when he cursed them to take 3 avatars, wherein their avatars would be ended by Vishnu himself as a consequence of the punishment, which is why Jaya and Vijaya took avatar as first Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, then Ravana and Kumbhakarna, and then Shishupala and Jarasandha. Ultimately, sorry.
Yes, there is a backstory. That's
so
true.
I think ultimately it is there also Krishna sends a message that he cared about them because they were his doorkeepers, and even to end those avatars, he was merciful enough to come and kill them. So, see his mercy even in those.
Yes, that's true. Thank you. All right, so where's our Yagya man, or Yagya Prabhu, Dayanidhi Prabhu? All right, so thank you all very much. Nrsimha Bhagavan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So yes, now we'll have a Yagya, fire sacrifice, and then after that we will have Kirtan, and then we will serve prasadam dinner.